I'm 81 years old. I'm telling you that now because it matters for what comes next. I'm sitting at the same kitchen table I bought in 1965. The wood's worn smooth now, scarred from decades of homework and holidays. There's a crack down the middle I never fixed. My granddaughter just asked me what I'd do differently if I could go back. I laughed it off, told her I had no regrets. But that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about a shoebox in my closet I haven't opened in 40 years. Inside is a stack of letters tied with twine. Letters I wrote but never sent. You know, when you're young, you think you're building something. A career, a legacy, security for the people you love. That's what I told myself anyway. Every late night, every missed dinner, every time I heard my wife's voice on the phone asking when I'd be home, and I'd say, soon, knowing it wouldn't be soon at all. At 30, I had a corner office with my name on the door, gold letters. I remember running my fingers over them the first day, feeling like I'd made it. My wife called that morning. Our son had a fever. Could I come home early? I said I had a presentation. The truth is, I didn't. I just wanted to stay in that office a little longer, soaking in what I thought was success. That brass nameplate is in a drawer somewhere now. I can't remember the last time I looked at it. I didn't realize then that every yes to work was a no to something else. Someone else. The promotions kept coming. More responsibility. More respect from people whose names I can barely remember now. I'd come home at 8, sometimes 9. Dinner would be cold on the stove, wrapped in foil. My wife would be reading in bed. My son would be asleep. I'd pour a drink, sit in the dark kitchen, and tell myself this was temporary. That once I made senior partner, once the mortgage was paid off, once we had enough saved, then I'd slow down. Then I'd be present. But then kept moving further away. My son used to build these elaborate blanket forts in the living room every Sunday. He'd beg me to crawl inside with him, be the dragon or the knight. I always said, later, or Daddy's tired. I'd sit on the couch with a newspaper, half watching him play alone. One Sunday, he stopped asking, just stopped building the forts altogether. He was maybe 8. I remember feeling relieved, one less thing to manage. Now I'd give anything to fit inside one of those forts, even for 5 minutes. Truth is, I was keeping score without knowing it. Every sacrifice I made, I logged it somewhere in my mind. The hours, the stress, the missed sleep. I thought my family understood what I was doing for them. I thought they could see the scoreboard. But they weren't keeping score. They were just missing me. The years blurred together now. There was Little League. I made it to 3 games out of maybe 60. There were school plays where my wife saved me a seat that stayed empty. There was a father-son camping trip in 1979 that I canceled the morning we were supposed to leave because a client meeting came up. My son was 12. He didn't cry. He just nodded and went to his room. That's worse, somehow, than not crying. I told myself he understood, that he'd thank me later when he saw the college fund, the paid-off house, the inheritance I was building. When my wife got sick, I finally took time off. 3 months of sitting in vinyl hospital chairs, holding her hand through chemo. She'd smile at me, say, "I'm glad you're here." But sometimes I'd catch her staring out the window with this look I couldn't read. One night, she whispered, "I waited so long for this, for you to just sit with me." It hit me like a punch. All those years, She wasn't asking for vacations or gifts. She just wanted me in the room, awake, present. We'd been married 38 years, and I'd somehow missed the whole marriage. She recovered, for a while. We had 2 more years, good years, I thought. We took a trip to the coast. I retired. We planted tomatoes in the backyard. I thought I was making up for lost time. But you can't make up for time. You can only spend the time you have left differently. Then, in March of 2003, she had a stroke. Massive. She was gone in 4 days. At her funeral, my son gave the eulogy. He talked about how Mom taught him to cook, to garden, to fix a carburetor. Every story was about her. When he finished, he looked right at me and said, "She made up for both of you." People thought it was a compliment, but I knew. I sat there in the front pew, staring at her casket, and realized I was a guest in my own family. I'd worked 50-hour weeks to provide, but I'd outsourced the living to her. She raised our son. She made our house a home. She built the memories. I funded them. After she died, the house felt enormous. Rooms I'd paid for, but never really lived in. I'd walk past my son's old bedroom. He was 35 by then, married, living 2 states away, and I couldn't remember what posters he'd hung on the walls. I couldn't remember the sound of his laugh as a child. I could remember quarterly earnings reports from 1987. I could remember the names of clients who'd been dead for a decade, but I couldn't remember my own kid's laugh. I started going through her things, boxes of photos mostly, pictures of birthday parties I wasn't in, Christmas mornings where I'm missing from the frame or half cut off at the edge. There's one from his high school graduation. She's beaming, her arm around him, and I'm in the background checking my watch. I found her journal in a box under the bed. I almost didn't open it, but I did. June 1985. She wrote, "He missed another recital. I don't think our son even expected him to come. That's what breaks my heart. Not that he's absent, but that we've learned to stop expecting him." November 1991. I asked him tonight what he wants out of life. He said, security. I said, for who? He didn't answer. April 1998. I wonder if he knows us at all. I wonder if he wants to. I read the whole thing in one sitting. 20 years of entries. 20 years of her feeling alone while I slept next to her. 20 years of my son growing up wondering why his father couldn't be bothered. And the thing is, I did love them. I loved them so much it scared me. That's why I worked, to protect them, to give them a better life than I had. But somewhere along the way, I confused providing with loving. I thought the work was the love. I thought the paycheck proved it. Last month, I finally opened that shoebox. Inside were letters I'd written in my 40s, apologies I never delivered, promises I never kept, questions I never asked. One was addressed to my son. "I'm sorry I missed your games. I'm sorry I didn't know your friends' names. I thought providing was the same as loving." I never sent it because I was ashamed, because I thought there'd be time to fix it in person. But time doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just runs out. I thought about sending it now, but what's the point? He's 53. He's lived his whole life with the father he got, not the one I wish I'd been. An apology now feels like asking for forgiveness I didn't earn, like asking him to make me feel better about my own regret. Now I sit on this porch every evening, watching the sun go down. My son calls once a week, dutiful, polite, distant. We talk about weather and doctor's appointments, never the forts, never the games. I don't blame him. I'm a stranger who shares his last name. The thing nobody told me at 30 is this: success isn't what you build. It's who's still standing beside you when it all falls apart. And I built an empire of empty rooms. That's what I'd tell my younger self. But he wouldn't have listened either, because I thought I had time. That's the lie we tell ourselves. There's always tomorrow, always next weekend, always after this project, after this promotion, after we're more secure. But life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Your kids grow up, your wife stops reaching for your hand, and one day you look around and realize you won those 40 years at the office and lost everything that mattered. If you're 30, 40, 50, and you think you have time, you don't. Close the laptop. Go home. Be there. Not just in body, but in attention, in presence, in the 100 small moments that don't feel important until they're gone. Because the office doesn't remember you. The promotions don't visit. The money doesn't hold your hand when you're dying. But the people you ignored, they remember too. And sometimes that's all you're left with. The memory of everything you missed while you were busy succeeding. I'm 81, and I'd trade every dollar, every award, every accomplishment for one more Sunday inside a blanket fort with my son. But I can't. So maybe you still can.